Have you ever felt like you're somehow out of step with the rest of the world? Like you see things differently, feel things more deeply, and experience life on a wavelength that not many people seem to tune into? If you've ever thought to yourself, I don't quite fit in, but I also don't want to change who I am, then you may very well be an INFJ. The INFJ personality is often called the rarest type in the Myers-Briggs system, making up less than 2% of the population. But the truth is, being an INFJ isn't about being rare in number. It's about being rare in perspective. INFJs are dreamers, healers, deep thinkers, and visionaries. But they also carry silent battles inside their hearts that few people ever see. Hello and welcome to Psych IQ. On this channel, we post weekly videos to support introverted, intuitive, and sensitive people, helping you grow personally and reflectively. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of our future content. Today, we're diving into 10 powerful signs that you're truly an INFJ, and this is not about memorizing cliches. This is about exploring the real inner world of an INFJ, how they love, how they think, how they struggle, and how they shine. If you find yourself nodding along to these signs, chances are you're not just curious about INFJs, you are one. Sign 1. You read people instinctively. Imagine walking into a room where everyone is chatting casually. Most people notice the conversations, the laughter, the surface level interactions, but your attention goes somewhere else. You notice the way one person avoids eye contact, the slight change in someone's tone, the fake smile that doesn't reach their eyes. INFJs have a gift, the ability to sense emotions and hidden truths. You can often tell when someone is upset before they admit it, or when there's unspoken tension in a group. It's not just about being observant. It's almost like you're wired to tune into emotional frequencies that others overlook. This can make you incredibly compassionate, but it can also feel like a burden. Because once you see someone's pain, you can't unsee it. You carry it with you. Positive side, you become the person others trust. Friends come to you for advice because they feel you get them without judgment. Negative side, you may feel drained by constantly absorbing emotions that aren't even yours. For INFJs, this deep perception is a double-edged sword. It gives you insight, but it also demands boundaries. Sign 2, you crave deep, meaningful conversations. Picture this, you're at a party and everyone's talking about the latest show, new gadgets or weekend plans. You smile, nod, maybe even join in. But inside you feel empty because what you truly crave is depth. For INFJs, small talk is like snacking when you're starving. It fills the moment, but it doesn't satisfy your soul. You'd rather have one meaningful conversation about someone's dreams, fears, or beliefs than an entire night of chit-chat. This desire for depth is why INFJs sometimes feel out of sync with groups. You might come across as reserved or even aloof, but the truth is you're just waiting for that spark of authenticity. And when you find it, you can stay up all night talking, because nothing nourishes you more than a conversation that touches the soul. Sign 3, you often feel misunderstood. Here's the paradox. INFJs are often social, warm, and empathetic, yet deep down they feel like outsiders. Why? Because while you can easily understand others, very few people truly understand you. You may reveal pieces of your inner world, but rarely the whole thing. And because of this, you can feel like you're living behind glass, visible but not fully known. This creates a deep longing. On one hand, you want to be seen for who you really are. On the other, you fear that if people saw your depth, they might not accept it, so you hide. You become a chameleon, kind, adaptable, but always slightly detached. It's not uncommon for INFJs to describe friendships where they play the role of listener, healer, or advisor, yet walk away feeling lonely because nobody asked them how they were truly doing. Sign 4. You sense the bigger picture. INFJs are visionaries. Your intuition allows you to connect dots that others miss. You might look at a situation and instantly sense where it's heading. For example, you meet someone and notice small details others ignore, the way they talk about themselves, the choices they make, and you already see patterns forming. Months or years later, when the outcome happens, you're not surprised. This bigger picture vision makes you forward-thinking, strategic, and sometimes prophetic. But it also creates frustration. Because while others are focused on the present moment, you're already imagining possibilities, outcomes, and solutions. It's like living with one foot in the future and one foot in the present. That can be inspiring, but it can also feel isolating because not everyone sees what you see. Sign 5, you feel other people's pain deeply. Empathy for you isn't a choice, it's automatic. When someone is hurting, you don't just sympathise, you feel their pain as if it's your own. This can make you incredibly comforting. People often tell INFJs, I feel so safe with you, or I can tell you things I've never told anyone else. And it's true. You create space for others to be vulnerable. But here's the challenge. When you take on too much of other people's emotions, you risk drowning in them. You may walk away from an encounter feeling heavy, sad, or anxious, and not even realise that the feelings aren't yours. For INFJs, learning to protect their energy is vital. Otherwise, the gift of empathy turns into a curse. Sign 6, you struggle between helping others and protecting yourself. This is the INFJ's eternal conflict. You feel called to serve others, yet you know too much giving leaves you depleted. You might say yes to help a friend move, even though you're exhausted. You might spend hours listening to someone's problems while ignoring your own. Deep down, you feel responsible for easing people's suffering. But here's the truth. You can't pour from an empty cup. INFJs often learn, sometimes the hard way, that saving everyone else while neglecting themselves leads to burnout. This constant tug-of-war between compassion and self-preservation is one of the clearest signs of being an INFJ. Sign 7. You value authenticity above all. Fake smiles, shallow conversations, people pretending to be something they're not. For most people, it's tolerable. For an INFJ, it's soul-draining. Authenticity is your compass. You crave relationships where masks come off and truth is spoken, even when it's uncomfortable. This is why INFJs often have small circles of friends, but those friendships tend to be deep and lasting. When you encounter dishonesty, manipulation, or pretense, you instinctively withdraw. Because you know, life is too short for fake connections. Sign 8, you have a rich inner world. For INFJs, solitude is not loneliness, it's home. When you retreat into your inner world, you enter a universe of ideas, emotions, and visions. You replay conversations, analyse people's motives, imagine future possibilities. Sometimes this inner world fuels creativity. You write, paint, or dream up solutions to problems. Other times it can trap you in loops of overthinking, making you feel distant from reality. Outsiders may call you quiet or daydreamy. But if they could step inside your mind for even 1 hour, they'd realise it's anything but quiet. It's alive, vast, and endlessly complex. Sign 9, you experience intense highs and lows. Life for an INFJ is rarely neutral. When you love, it's all-consuming. When you're inspired, you feel unstoppable. But when you're hurt, it cuts deep. This intensity makes your experiences rich and meaningful. A song can move you to tears. A simple act of kindness can restore your hope in humanity. But it also means you carry pain longer than most. The challenge is learning to ride these waves without drowning in them. Many INFJs channel their emotional intensity into art, writing, or causes they care about, turning their inner storms into something that heals others. Sign 10, you have a quiet but powerful influence. INFJs don't need the spotlight to lead. In fact, most prefer working behind the scenes. Yet your influence is undeniable. You guide people not by force, but by presence. You listen, you validate, you plant seeds of wisdom that grow over time. Years later, someone might tell you, that one conversation we had changed my life. Yeah, you don't always realise the impact you have, but your quiet influence shapes lives, inspires growth, and creates ripples far beyond what you can see. That is the true power of an INFJ, subtle yet unforgettable. If you resonated with these signs, you may truly be an INFJ, but let me remind you, this isn't about wearing a label. It's about recognising your strengths and your challenges so you can live with greater clarity. Yes, you may often feel misunderstood. Yes, you may wrestle with emotional intensity. And yes, you may struggle to balance giving to others with caring for yourself. But you are not broken. You are not too much. You are exactly as you're meant to be, deep, compassionate and visionary. The world desperately needs INFJs, not because they're rare, but because they bring something society is starving for: authenticity, empathy, and vision. So if you're truly an INFJ, embrace it. Your way of seeing the world is not a weakness, it's a gift. And even if you sometimes feel alone in your journey, remember, there are others out there, quiet, thoughtful souls, walking the same path, feeling the same things, and nodding along with you right now. Because that's the beauty of being an INFJ. You may be rare, but you are never truly alone. And I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a like and subscribe so we can keep creating more content.